Good day, peace, love, and light to you all, family. Welcome to another exciting YouTube video with me, your host, Mathix Mahlangu. Now, before we continue on with today's topic, which is very interesting, don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel so that you can get notifications when I make other videos in the future. You want to be one of those, who same time, the moment I drop it, you see it. So don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel, and also follow me on my podcast on Awakening Conversations with Mathix. Now, today's topic, it's heavy. It's heavy. I decided to call today's conversation "The Real Jesus #breath." What? The real Jesus #the breath. Let's say it like that. Let's say #the breath. So now, I'm going to talk about the real Jesus today. Who is Jesus? Ubani uJesu? Kemang Jesu? Jesus? Yeshua? Who is this person? Was he real? Was he not? Did he die on the cross? Was he white? Was he black? Was he Indian? Who is he? Was he symbolic? Was he a real person? Who is Jesus? So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. And what I want to tell you is, don't necessarily or don't be concerned with the physicality of Jesus. In other words, don't bother yourself. Don't argue with people on whether Jesus was real or not. No, what you need to know or what you need to practice are the messages that come from so-called Jesus, which I'm going to tell you who Jesus is in today's episode. Let's talk about breath before we get to Jesus. When you breathe, when you take deep breaths such as these, guess what happens? You are activating the real Jesus. Because you know who Jesus is. Jesus is the breath itself. That's who Jesus is. The act of breathing, that's Jesus. Jesus is the breath. He's the breath of life. They say in the Bible that God breathed into the nostrils of man and man became a living soul. So that's who you are. You are the breath. You are the breath of life. Your life starts and ends with the breath. You can go about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks without food. Could go about a week or so without water. Try and go for 4 minutes or 2 minutes, even 1 minute without breath. And tell me which of these are important. The breath, and that's the one that we look at the least. Because it's so automatic, we don't even concern ourselves with it. But literally, the breath is your ticket out of here. Jesus said that, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's the breath. The breath is the way, the truth, and the life. Because the breath is the life. Your whole body is animated by the spirit. And the word spirit actually means breath. Espirito, it means breath. The breath is the life. It's what sustains you. The act of that right there, that's yin and yang. That's the whole cosmos. That's male and female. Just sit alone and do this. After you do that, the whole universe can be explained to you. This is death, life, death, life. The inhaling is and not death as in the death that we think here. No, the death isn't going back into the origin, going back to source. The source is the inside world. So the inhalation is the pulling back, and the exhalation is the pushing out. So the exhalation is the existence in physicality. Young bam. It's gonna get deep today. Hey. Breath. Who'd have thought breath would trip you out? Well, today you've been breathing your whole life, but let's talk about it. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody can go to the Father except through me. That's what Jesus said. Now, guess who Jesus is? Jesus, the real Jesus, is you. All of us are Jesus in different states, initiated or uninitiated. Jesus initiated becomes the Christ. He gains the title of a Christ. Christ is a title that does not belong to one man, but belongs to all humanity, so long as the members of that humanity activated. So you as an individual have to exit the collective and activate the potential within yourself to be able to access the information within the whole collective. So now you can be able to understand that me and my brother are one, or love your neighbor as you love yourself, or pray for your enemies. Those type of thoughts that Jesus was thinking, he was thinking that because he was tapped into the realm of the Father, which is the high brain. And you know how do you do that? You do that through breath. Your lungs are very, very big, but you, my friend, breathe so shallow. You breathe so shallow. You can take one deep breath for a whole minute and you still won't fill up your lungs. Try it. That's how big your lungs are. And every day you breathe like this. You so shallow. Within the lungs itself, not just the pineal gland, the third eye, just the lungs. The lungs within themselves contain what we call DMT. And that process can be triggered through the breath, through Jesus. The act of breathing is very important. Why do you think when people are panicking, they tell them, breathe, take a deep breath? And I always sit and ask myself, why do they only tell people to take deep breaths when they are panicking? Imagine if you took deep breaths when you were relaxing. What would happen then? Let's say this. You stressing, someone comes, take a deep breath. Can you imagine what happens when you are not stressing, but you still take those deep breaths? You activate it. Activate what? Christ consciousness. What we call Shu. That's who Jesus is. In ancient Egypt, not only is Jesus Heru, the sun god, but he's also Shu. They are deities in ancient Kemet. If you see that depiction of Nut, where her body is at this angle, and then there's the stars are on her body. That's who we call Nut. That's the darkness of space. And then underneath is Geb, which is the earth. In between Geb and Nut is Shu. Shu is the breath. Shu. When you sneeze, how do you sneeze? Hey, Shu. Even when you sneeze, you are subconsciously calling upon Shu. When you chase away a fly or something, or a dog, what do you say? Shoo, shoo. You are calling on the air element. All of these are not nothing just happens. No word is just there. Shoo, shoo. You shooing it. It's Shu. It's the ancient Egyptian deity Shu, which is breath, which is air, which is the heart chakra. The heart chakra, air element. So that's why when they say take a deep breath, you calm down, because now you are putting in energy, solar light energy that comes into your nostrils photons from the stars, from the sun, and from the whole cosmos enters in your body through the breath. Calm down. For you are the breath of life. You are Jesus. And there are techniques. Breathing meditations. I'm giving you secrets here. I'm giving you some very great secrets. These are secrets for the soul. These are secrets that were taught in the mystery schools and in secret societies. Breath, as simple as it sounds. Your right nostril and your left nostril take in air at different temperatures. When you block this nostril and you breathe from the left one, you are taking in what they call cold air. And when you block this one and then air comes in here, that air is warm. It's what they call the Ida and Pingala, which are the two energies that run up your spinal cord. These are the two witnesses to Jesus. You remember they say that Jesus was crucified on the cross and there were two thieves next to him? Those two thieves are the Ida and the Pingala, which is what you use to centralize yourself in Christ consciousness, because now you have to learn how to balance both polarities of yourself. Right brain feminine, left brain masculine. You balance those through Jesus, which is the breath, the act of breathing. Jesus is always pointing in some of these pictures that you see of these old pictures of Jesus. He's always pointing to the heart and it's flaming, for he's the heart chakra. The heart chakra, as I said, it's air. My next YouTube video is going to be about the chakras. So Jesus is always pointing to the heart. And the heart is always on fire, because once you ignite the heart, then can you enter the Holy of Holies, which is the brain, the cherubim or the cerebrum, the land of the angels, the crystal city. All of it is taking place. The Holy of Holies, it's your skull, where Jesus got crucified. They say Jesus got crucified where? In Golgotha. Golgotha means place of the skull. Here's another thing. The word to crucify or crucifixion doesn't necessarily mean to kill, but rather to accelerate. So when Jesus was being crucified, his energy was being accelerated into the spirit. He was dying into the flesh. That's why he said on the cross, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, which means, God, why have you forsaken me? The physical, the mortal, the carnal man has to be forsaken in order for you to enter the holy realms. The pleading, that was the ego. The whipping, that was the whipping of the ego. The lashes, all symbolic of you have to beat your ego into submission so that it knows that it is the mind or the spirit or the higher that rules and not the lower. The lower comes from the higher, and how you access the higher is through breath. Because through breath, then can you balance the two polarities of your brain. Even at death, they measure your heart against the feather. The feather is symbolic of thoughts. So your thoughts have to be light. Your thoughts have to be light in order for you to exit physicality. If your heart is heavier than the feather, it means that you still have desires that attach you to the physical world. So you're going to keep reincarnating here, which is what they call hell. Hell is the process, or hell is the cycle of reincarnation without illumination or self-realization. Then you are in hell. Because in one lifetime, you're a doctor. In one lifetime, you're a millionaire. In one lifetime, you're broke. In one lifetime, you're a nurse. You're a dude. You're a pilot. You've been all of these characters. You've been all of these characters. Don't forget that you are old. You are an old soul in a new body with the futuristic mind. That's what's happening here. Your soul is very old. And how you begin to tap into the knowledge of the ancient you is through the breath, through Jesus. Jesus being you, Jesus being your high state of consciousness. You are Jesus. Jesus is not just one person. All of us, as I said, are Jesus with the potential to activate the Christ within, the Christ consciousness. Christ is a title that any man, any woman can gain. There are techniques to open up your chakras, and you can open them up through the breath. I'm going to talk about these techniques in more detail in the next video when I talk about the chakras, but I'll give you a technique right now. You breathe in for 6 seconds. You hold your breath for 3 seconds, and then you breathe out for 6 seconds. So you breathe in for 6. And then you hold it for 3. And then you breathe out for 6. And then you do that over and over again. Now that technique can do a lot. There's books, there's teachers that speak about breathing. Do your research on breath. It's not a joke. The breath is the key. Your breath is the way out of here. For the breath, as I said, it takes in photons and solar light energies, and it transmutes that as information to you through your bloodstream. Your blood being a liquid crystal. So your blood is a liquid crystal. The information that comes from the sun, which is light, the stars, it's light from the center of the galaxy, light, everything is light. You are light at a slowed down frequency. Breath is a frequency that is faster than matter. Everything is basically one energy vibrating at different states. In the same way that you can have water. Water is water, but it can exist in 3 states. One is a very fast vibration, which is gas. Another is a slowed down vibration, which is in its liquid form. And then the other one is the slowest vibration, which is when water is solid or when it's ice. You see this, but it's one thing. It's a trinity. It's the same thing exists as you being the observer. You are the observer of physicality, the observer of yourself. You are the observed, which is the physical. You are that which is the observed, that which is tangible. And on top of that, you are the act of observing itself. So you are a trinity. That's what creates the illusion of reality. The fact that you are a thing, you are a creature, and you are the thing observing the creature. How profound are you? Woo! What? Crazy. You are the body. Oh my word. My hand hurts. Ouch. What is it that's saying that my hand hurts? That's that part of you. That's that part of you that's beyond. Here, that's the part that's animating the body. The part of you that goes on after you die. Which is what? Which is the breath. When someone dies, they say that there's a certain amount of weight that they lose. And all of that was energy and breath. So the energy leaves. The death of the physical body is not the death of you. It's just the exiting of the spirit, which is the breath. So you need to learn the art of breathing, because once you understand the art of breathing, then you know who Jesus is. Jesus is the potential within you, as I said, to activate Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness is understanding that that which runs or created the universe also created you, and at the same time it is you. You created a simulation and you did not observe the simulation from afar. No, you entered it. That's why in the scriptures they say that the one who prepares you, it says that I, God, I predestined, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I knew. You knew, you chose, that God saying that is you. Your consciousness is God. God is your consciousness. God, please help me. That's your consciousness. You calling upon the highest potential within yourself, which is what they would just call the higher self. And the way you tap or connect with the higher self is through the breath, the act of breathing. You can also do the alternating breath technique, which is where now you close one nostril, you breathe in through this nostril, close both, breathe out through the other nostril, and then breathe. All of these are techniques because now they activate both sides of the brain. As I told you, you have the Ida and Pingala, the two witnesses of Jesus, one positive, one negative. One is the white snake, one is the black snake. You need that polarity for life to continue on. And Jesus was the balancer of that. Jesus was the one who was balancing all the disciples. Jesus is your highest state of consciousness, balancing the 12 disciples, which are the 12 disciplines. You need to discipline your body. That's who the disciples are. They are different states of thinking, different ways of being. You must master it. You are a God trapped in an animal body. But your nature, your true nature is divine, but you have forgotten that. That's why the Christ says that I will bring you to the remembrance of yourself, which means you forgot yourself. And the way that you can begin to now remember that is through what? It's through the breath. It's through breathing, being calm, being centered. For the breath activates what we call here-ness or now-ness. When you understand breath, you are present. You are present here. In this very moment right here. You are not elsewhere. That's why, as I said, they say breathe, take a deep breath, because the breath centers you. People do that when they panic, as I said. Can you imagine if you just do that on a regular? If you just begin to practice breathing meditations? You will begin to tap into something beyond this world. You will begin to activate you will begin to activate neurons. You will begin to create new pathways in your brain, new links. Your brain will begin to become now a choir and not individual members singing. Your frontal lobe doing one activity, your medulla doing one activity, your amygdala doing one activity. No, all of the brain now will begin to work together. The pineal gland will begin to work with the pituitary gland. Everything works together. But until you activate this choir through the breath, you cannot acquire the secrets of life beyond death. Breath, death, birth. Why do you think all these things rhyme? It's one movement. It's you, it's Jesus. Jesus is the seed. Jesus is a pattern. Jesus is a pattern man. In the same way that you could plant a seed, but within the seed is already encrypted within it the whole information of what the tree will be. The fruit is already in the tree. The fruit is already within the seed. So your highest potential is already within your body, which is the seed, and you activate it through the breath. You are a seed. They call man in the East Saptapana, which means man plant. You are the man plant. You are a plant. Literally, if you look at plants, you are just moving. That's the only, you are a plant. You take in light and it gives you energy. You don't know this, but you actually take in light. The most important energy is from the sun. The only reason why you need to eat food is because in the fall, when we fell from the garden, we forgot how to take in energy primarily through ourselves, through what they call the Shushuna, through your crown chakra, prana. We forgot how to breathe and take in prana. So we started breathing through the nostrils, and then we started to develop certain body parts that were not even there, or rather that had other functions. So the body had to adapt to the falling of man. The fall came as a result of the lowering of consciousness as the earth descended further and further and further into the realms of matter and density until we became ultra dense. And in density there's magnetism, and magnetism means that now things are dense and heavy. The more electric you become, the more free you become. So the earth has a very heavy magnetic field, which means that now it shuts you off from remembering or connecting to your true self, which is why sometimes you even also forget dreams, or you forget your past lives. It's due to the earth's very heavy magnetic field. The lesser the magnetic of a planet, and the more the electrical components to that planet, the spirit picks up, and it is able to gauge and understand and send and broadcast information at a quicker pace, which is just what shamans and seers and healers, it's what they are tapped into. Their body is alkaline. It's tapped into the ethers. It is tapped into the field. It is tapped into the higher states. It is tapped into the different bodies, and not just the physical. The body is quickened. The entering of the soul into the physical body brings about a spiritual quickening. I don't know if you know Dragon Ball Z. You know how Goku trains in the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball Z under 100 times gravity, and then that's how he was able to achieve Super Saiyan mode? Now you do the same thing. The earth is gravity for you. It's weights. Literally, you are wearing weights. Or if you know Naruto, Rock Lee, he wore weights. And then when he took them off, what happened? He was faster. So that's what happens. Your body, which is the cross, which Christ was crucified upon, quickening. I told you, this body is a tool that quickens your spirit, because when you enter the body and when you leave it, you are a whole other being. You are a whole other being. This is your homework. You have a task here on this planet. There's something that you came here to do, and you have forgotten that. And you need to now remember that you are the Christ, uninitiated, and you must become now initiated. Through what? Through the secrets of the breath. Shoo. You need to understand. You need to be able to now look at things without you even reading about that and know what it is. You don't need books. You are the book. Go to the library. You are a library. You are a library of trillions of years, 76 trillions of years. You've been existing, but you breathe shallow. So that's why you think you are your body. And for you to tap into who Jesus Christ really is, who you really are, you need to start breathing. Pefmula baba. I can't breathe. Literally the whole race, we can't breathe, man. We have an invisible knee placed upon us. We can't breathe. So we need to sit back, relax, close our eyes. I'm going to give you one last technique, one last meditation that I do. The guides gave me this meditation. If you want to learn more about breath as well, let me give you. Watch Dr. Aleem El-Bey. Go on YouTube and check Dr. Aleem El-Bey. It's very, very, very amazing on the breath. I'll give you some books on that, but I don't remember any at the moment. But check out Aleem. Check out Dr. Aleem El-Bey. Ah, man, he gives very beautiful information on the breath. But the technique my ancestors told me is that you must understand polarity. So when you breathe in, close your eyes and see that as the spirit world. That's you going back to source, so-called death, going inside. When you sleep, you go inside. So when you breathe, you close your eyes. And when you exhale, it's life. When you exhale, it's birth, it's light. So when you exhale, you open your eyes. So it's and through that, ladies and gentlemen, are you able to ignite the light within yourself? I am the light of the world, as Jesus said. That's the pineal gland. That's the third eye. There's a light in you. There's a hidden sun, which is what they call Amen Ra. Amen means hidden. Ra is light, or the sun. So you have a hidden sun within you that you can activate. They speak about this in Revelation. They call it the white stone, the philosopher's stone. All of these mystic words and whatnot, it's all about you. It's all about you and the potential for you to be able to know yourself, fully know yourself as the divine. And you can tap into that through the breath, through Shu, through Yeshua, through Jesus. Who is the real Jesus? You are the real Jesus. You are the breath of life. God breathed into your nostrils and you became a living soul, spirit, espirito, breath. That's what you are. So breathe. Breathe slow during the day when you are at work at your computer, or when you are driving in your car on the way back home, or you are in a taxi. Whatever it is that you are doing, take conscious breaths. Be aware of your breath. Your breath teaches you mindfulness. Someone who's mindful is a Christ, because you are able to now perceive. You become the observer and not the reactor. You don't react to reality. You observe it. When something happens and someone comes to you, you don't just react to them. You observe them because you practice breath. Funalo. What does this person want? Don't they know that I'm calm? I practice breathing meditation. You have to get to this level. You have to get to a level where someone is pointing you with the gun. God forbid somebody points you with the gun, but you must get to a point where someone is like, hey, Baba. And then you're like, Funalo. You know, it's just an example, but you need to get to that level within yourself now. When you are alone, when you get home from work after a busy day or school, sit, put your phone down. Give me phone, don't watch TV, at least for an hour or 10 minutes. Just get home, greet your family, your kids, and do what you need to do real quick, and then go and sit alone. Put your phone, switch it off, and just sit down. And be mindful of your breath. Feel the beauty in that. Feel the fact that you exist. Not what your existence is about. Not why you came here, which is summer crystal, or you're gonna own trucks and companies, or you're gonna be. Not about your business, or you're a healer, you do Reiki, or you do. No, forget all of that. Come back to you. Forget everybody. You'll heal everybody after you heal yourself. By being mindful. Figurely, get home, sit down, and. I feel so good. I feel so good. That's what lets you know that you exist. That's what gives you life. That's what lets you know that you are. That's what lets you know that you are. You are the breath. You are the breath of life. So I'm going to end this video here, family. I'm going to talk more about the breath. I want to do a part 2 about the breath. And I'm also going to do a part 2 on the real Jesus. But I'm going to end the video here for today. As I said, don't forget to like and to subscribe to the channel. Sizokhuluma ngama chakra on the other episode because it all links. The chakras, the breath, all of it goes hand in hand. So, peace, love and light to you all, family. Nyantanda, guys. And please, 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 I beg you to sit in silence and breathe, for in that silence you will know your beauty. You will know. You are far more powerful, far more amazing, far more intelligent than you think. These social constructs, these social ideas, they're just that, ideas and concepts of humanity. I'm a doctor, I'm a nurse, I'm an engineer, I'm a plumber. No, man, that's part of it. It's not really who you are. If you knew who you are, oh my word, you wouldn't even be here. And you need to know a little about who you are so that being here can be made a little bit easier. And guess how you can do that? Yep, you got it right. It's the breath. Breathe. Peace, love, and light, family.